This is 6.1, fractions, decimals, and percents. So to write a percent as a decimal, first we're going to remove the percent symbol and then divide by 100. Dividing by 100 means we're going to move the decimal twice to the left. So if we have 45%, first you remove the percent symbol, then move the decimal twice to the left to get 0.45 as our decimal. Then if we are going to write decimals as percents, this is the opposite process. So we are going to multiply by 100, which means moving the decimal twice to the right, and then add a percent symbol. So for 0.29, move the decimal twice to the right to get 29, and then add a percent symbol for 29%. We are going to write each percent as a decimal, or each decimal as a percent. So starting from the way that it is given, we are going to write it in the other form. So for 65%, we would move the decimal twice to the left and drop the percent sign. If we have 0.09, that is a decimal, and so we're going to move it twice to the right and add a percent symbol. And then if we have 0.7 repeating, that is 0.777 and so on. So we would move the decimal twice to the right and then add a percent symbol. And then this 7 with the line over it just means that there's 7s going on forever. So it is 77.7%. If we have 1.75, that's a decimal, so we're moving it twice to the right and get 175%. If you are trying to make a percent, you want to end with the percent symbol, you move the decimal point towards where that percent symbol is going to go. And if you want to get rid of the percent, you're going to move the decimal point away from the percent symbol. So for 60%, that is 0.6. And 5% twice to the left is 0.05. Then we can write fractions as a decimal and as a percent. To do that, we are going to rewrite the fraction with denominator of 100, and then the new numerator is the percent that we get. So 2/5, 5 goes into 100 by multiplying by 20, and then we get 40 hundredths. And so the numerator, 40, becomes the percent. If the denominator does not go into 100, we are going to use long division to get the decimal. So an example here is 9/11. We are going to do long division, and then we would see that we get 0.81 repeating. So move the decimal twice to the right, and we have 81, and then this 81 repeats forever. So we have 81.81 repeating percent. So for these fractions, we are going to write them as a decimal and a percent. So 7/8 we can divide by 2 to get a denominator of 4, because I know 4 goes into 100, so then I would multiply by 25, and then that gives 87.5, and then that's 87.5%. To write it as a decimal, move your decimal spot twice to the left, and you get 0.875. Here we have 7/2, and I know that 2 goes into 100 by multiplying each by 50, and 7 times 5 is 35, add a 0 to get 350, so 350% or 3.5. Then we can have 5/9, and 9 does not go into 100 evenly, so we're going to do long division to get 0.5 repeating, and that's 0.55555. So move the decimal twice to the right and fill in all the spots with 5s. And another one, if we have 5/1000, 1000 goes into 100 by dividing by 10. So if we divide 5 by 10, move the decimal once to the left to get 0.5 hundredths. So that's 0.5%. And then as a decimal, 0.005. An ice rink is open December through February. The table shows the attendance each month as a portion of the total attendance. How many times more guests visit the ice rink in the busiest month than in the least busy month? So here we have December, January, and February. They are written in the 3 different forms of a decimal, fraction, and percent, but they all need to be in the same form so that we can compare and know which month is busiest and which month is the least busy. So because we are asked how many times more, that means I'm going to be doing some division. And we don't divide with percents, so that either means to divide with the decimals or with the fractions. If we choose fractions, they all have to have common denominator. It's not too difficult for this one, but usually in that case, decimals are the easier way to go because there's less conversions that you have to do. So to turn 4/25 into a decimal, make the denominator 100, and then 16 hundredths is my decimal. For 11%, move the decimal twice to the left to get 0.11. So then between 0.73, 0.16, and 0.11, December is the busiest and February is the slowest. So that means that we are going to do December divided by February. So to do that, we would get 6.63 repeating, which means about 6.63 times more guests visit the ice rink in the busiest month than in the least busy month.